back on the road, heading back to Washington, D.C. with what? Proof of information, fact, and statement from Brianna. And that's what I'm going to share with you now. Remember I asked, how did my Brianna end up on a bus? Gordon Obert? After he obviously sexually assaulted my daughter, and she ran for help across the street is what he said. Then he put her on a bus and claimed that she wanted to go away. No, she didn't. She was so fucking sick that she ended up in the hospital in Boston. She was questioned by sex trafficking officers, and she also revealed about the child molestation that we both have reported in Island Pond, Vermont. And out of retaliation, due to the fact that we reported some wrongdoings, some things that are obviously happening, we've seen the evidence, we've witnessed the little girl's actions, and heard her crying out for help. Okay? So I reported it. I've got the audio recorded conversation that I had with DCF, as well as I have the emails and the filings of reports that were submitted to DCF, Vermont State Police, and everybody involved. Island Pond, Vermont, very well aware. Sweet Tree, very well aware that the allegations should have been looked into, and they weren't. And so knowing that my daughter went missing and my grandson were taken, obvious retaliation for the fact that we came forward and said what's been happening. Now you hear this. I'm going to let you listen to this. I'm going to run in and get a coffee so I can proceed on my way to Washington, D.C.
Linda Yates had asked you about that, right? Yes. If you thought who was doing what? Linda, you me. If by any chance did I have anything that maybe Aaron was molesting Trinity? He was. Yes. Out of Boston. Yes. And so now you need your medical records to find out who you talked to because they're not going to tell you who you talked to. But he brought you a phone, you said? Yep. And a plane ticket. And a plane ticket. Yes. And where? On a plane. Okay, so where did the plane drop you off? Orlando? Huh? And then how'd you end up in Daytona? And then you ended up in the hospital in Daytona. I had called, and the cop said that no, you had not been heard from because Tina Hay had contacted me by social media and said that you needed more medical attention than she was able to provide, so that she took you to a hospital. And when I looked up Tina Hay, she's from a halfway house. Yes. So how'd you end up from being in a psych ward, shot up with medications, onto a fucking Greyhound while you were so sick, into Boston on an airplane, and then through a halfway house when you weren't even on drugs? You weren't on drugs, so why were you even in the halfway house? Because I had marijuana in my system, so they accepted me. Okay. So for marijuana, okay, so why is it that you got something called the Marshman Act in September down there? And then they said they made an arrest and made a Baker Act on you, but they still won't send the recorded video of the Baker Act. And they said they have body cam of it, and I've been asking for it. They refused to give it to me. They refused to give it to Channel 6 News Investigates, a reporter named Brianna. Yeah, so we know that Volusia was obviously covering some bullshit, and I believe that Tina Hay was covering some shit too. And then I get a phone call that you're in Orlando Regional Medical Center and I need to make medical decisions on you. I couldn't even answer that call. I had to call my friend to have her call the police to find out where you were because I thought I was dying. When I got that call, I thought that was the end of my life right there. And that's the honest God's truth. But back to the fact that Aaron Ordway, that morning that his daughter Yeah. On everything. I'm not lying or making this up. There were people from Sweet Tree that were also concerned about that little girl and his actions around her. They mentioned it about the time a girl named Heather that Adam's ex, she had said that the people at Sweet Tree were kind of concerned about the way he holds her and the way he talks about giving her baths and stuff. I put those in the report. And the police didn't do anything. No. They retaliated and came and took my grandson away from you. Well, I've heard of this stuff in Massachusetts after they took Jacoby. I reported it before they took Jacoby. That's the thing, and all these people that were reported against are the ones that are around Jacoby. And you're the one that went missing. You're the one that got so fucked up that you were unrecognizable and that you didn't have any information on you because you were in a sex trafficking case. I hold Vermont State Police and all of the politicians and Laura Wilson accountable, as well as Essex County Court, Rutland Regional Medical Center, Rutland Police Department, all of them. What else did you tell that detective? Anything that you remember about Trinity? No. I told him about the duct tape that I found, and I told him about I told him that like he was back there and coming out naked, all the coochie and stripping the ball and just walked about him. And you know, I think that the reason why they haven't done anything about it is because obviously you were sex trafficked out of Island Pond, Vermont. It seems to be a big fucking game up there. And it makes me want to know how many explosive pictures did they take of Keanu and Savannah, and what happened to Keanu and Savannah when they were living with Rio Robillard? That's what I want to know. Why did Mary and Robillard and Rio insist on staying involved with my daughters? Is it because they got something to hide? What about that little girl, Amber, that Mary here was trying to lure? What do you know about her? But she's older now, right? Like 16 or 17, I think. That's what I was going to ask, 16, 17. That's another one that Mary here tried to victimize. Her mother was a single mother too, right? The little girl, she two little girls. Amber and Amber's little sister. So what was she doing? Inviting them over to the house and stuff like that? Like she did you? Yeah. What happened? I remember this like it was clear as today, where I called that school that day and Jocelyn Gervais told me that you were in Littleton. You went to Littleton Walmart with Mary here, which was first not approved by me, not even questioned to me. But she took you out of school without my permission all the freaking time. Never did find out where she took you. Or where she supposedly took you was Walmart, which again would have been across the state line. Because that's an hour and 40 minutes to Littleton, New Hampshire from Island Pond, Vermont. So my question for the past many years is, why was she taking you out of school without my emotionally and mentally fucking distraught from all of their bullshit. So, do you agree that mental health services ought to be counseling about what really